Ako si Mark Lopez and my program is Pugad Vloggers, aired every Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sa Radyo Bandido, TV simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Sa Sky Cable, Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV. Also, sa facebook.com, DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and our official YouTube channel.
Pugad Vloggers, Pugad Vloggers, ang kurap titirisin, sa loob sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers. Pugad Vloggers.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Ngayon ay
Ito
ng Hunyo, June 7. It's a Tuesday night and it's hot, hot, hot. Good evening, Maricar.
Good evening, kahit na ako ay, ano ba yung tawag nila doon? Hilahod ba yun? Basta, hilahod sa pagod. Graba. Feeling ko ngayong araw na to, parang sinulit ng boss ko yung sweldo ko sa isang buwan. Sinagkasya niya sa isang araw.
Grabe, no?
Babati muna ako sa ating mga walang sawang tigasubaybay. Shucks. Kalahin mo kaya ko na sabihin niya na walang bulol, no? Ang aming mga walang sawang tigasubaybay, ang aming mga pinakamamahal na kapugad vloggers, syempre ang aking mga kakulto, ang lahat ng sumasamba sa karikitan at kaalindugan ni Doc Ethel Pineda, mga nagmamahal kay tatay, mga nagmamahal kay Sarah, mga nagmamahal kay BBM, saka yung mga galit kay Lenlen. Good evening, I love you. Nikompleto ko na.
Ako, ang dami. Ano pag-uusapan natin ngayon? Sige nga.
Oo nga, akala yata ng mga tao na to. Ang akala siguro ng ating mga viewers, meron tayong mga plots, meron tayong program.
Wale.
Hindi nila alam na isang buong linggo din tayo nag-uusap, tapos biglang, uy, sasalang kami.
Uy, bilis na. Ano pag-uusapan natin?
Uy, sandali ka, nung last time na ito kasi
Ikaw ba, Tentay? Gusto mo bang magpa-accredit?
Biglang, sorry nangatay ilong ko. Hindi need. I don't know, maraming tao yata na parang mamamatay sila na walang, ano tawag diyan, recognition, walang title, walang, hindi natin kailangan, I mean, for me, ako tinanong mo, so I can only speak for myself. Di ko kailangan yun, Doc, kasi, number one, mahirap i-accredit yung Maricar Serrano kasi may kulto akong damay. Pagka in-accredit ako, damay yung buong kulto ko. Diba? So, unfair. Hindi, tsaka, aminin na natin, Doc, wala naman talagang, sila lang naglagay ng demarcation line between bloggers and media. This is social media. And they are mainstream media, nonetheless media. Yun lang yung root word dun We are all disseminators of information, of opinions, and of we are just practicing our free speech. Nagkataon lang na may paksyon sila, tsaka may sahod sila, tayo wala. Yun lang naman ang difference nun hindi ako, natatawa ako, pasensya ka na. Medyo magandang magandang twist do sa ginawa ni Cherry, no? Well, actually matagal na yung list na yan, Doc. Marami ng list several times over, naglalabas sila, these are the names of the trolls, etc., etc. This is just another one of them. Pero nakakatawa, nilagyan ng category. Group 1.
Parang Class A, Class B, Class C,
Section 1, Section 2, ganyan. So, doon sa star section, andun yung mga individuals. Natawa ako kasi twice na naisali si Job. Doon ako natawa
December something. 17
Oo,
December.
naisip ko kaagad, yung picture nyo with Lisa Marcos, na magkakasama, doon nila yon binase. It's evident, it's no longer, since they no longer probably care about Tatay Digong, ang pinag-iinitan na nila ngayon are the Marcoses. So, ang kailangan nilang identify that are identified with the Marcoses are these people in this particular photo. And it's so stupid. Kasi kung yung stupidity nung list, I don't know kung kilala nila yung mga binanggit nilang tao. They're not even, Frank Mabanta, that's funny. Tapos, yung kay Attorney Cañete, everybody knows that Fiscal Cañete, ang spelling is mali. So talagang Caniete nakasulat.
Right.
Oo, hindi enye, no? So and so much more, no, and actually ikaw nakakatawa, well your pen name is Pineda, pero it's tama, Garcia ka dapat, no?
Yeah.
So
because they based that on the whole long circulating picture that were numbered, no? But going back tayo na punta dito kay Chari Villa. But we will get to that later. Going back to what I opened kanina na accreditation is that I think the main purpose of accreditation is to give access to the bloggers, those who write regularly in the social media, no? Because for a long time, the access to direct access to the news from Malacanang is
monopolized nila.
Exclusive to the practitioners, mainstream media practitioners who are accredited by Malacanang. So in so doing, accreditation, quote unquote, of bloggers will give them access. Why is this necessary? I think that at some point it is necessary because if we are to read only what emanates from mainstream media reporting the happenings or what the news is from Malacanang, they usually write it in a slanted manner, no, and sometimes downright false. So to counteract that, okay, I think that it would be a good idea for other people to hear it themselves, so that the misinformation can be counteracted. No? So I think it's a good idea. It's not. Mainstream media journalists should not take it as they are going to be displaced. Okay, there's room for everyone, and the niche of the bloggers is different from that of the journalists, mainstream media.
From the get-go, di ba, nakita natin that meron talagang merong animosity between the mainstream against the bloggers. They've been trying to discredit us for the longest time. Buong term ni President Duterte, wala silang ginawa kundi dyan. And here's the thing, kasi let's talk about the unspeakables. Yun naman ang lagi kong favorite Doc, sa totoo lang. Now, with regards to the accreditation, I'm not entirely against it. I just answered your question according to how I think, I feel about it. No?
It's a personal thing, yeah.
Yeah, on a personal note lang yung sa akin, I really don't need it. Another thing, kasi anyway, somehow, personally, I feel I would lose that certain freedom that I have, that I can say just about anything I want. Kasi pag may accreditation ka, meron ka din, may kakambal yan na responsibility, may kakambal yan na protocols, may kakambal na kung ano-ano yan. And I probably do not want to relinquish that certain tentay mahalay freedom ko. And on my wall as well, kasi tignan mo, pag may accreditation ka, you have to have bylaws, di ba? Syempre may bylaws yan, may mga susundin ka, may limitations ka. Number two, ito yung tanong, Doc, pag nagkaroon ng accreditation, papanong hindi papalag yung iba who feel that they are also SOCMEDs tapos sasabihin na hindi ka belong?
Paano yun? Paano?
Ano yung basis para sabihin SOCMED ka? Gaano kadami yung followers?
Those who have a large following, people who are being read regularly and who have regular output.
But how can we identify that? Kasi there are so many out there, no? So chances are meron yung mga paano pag hindi mo kapareho ng opinion, tapos i-accredit mo. So does it mean that it is safe to actually accredit somebody who's completely against ano ba, paano ba natin kasi di ba, marami po pwedeng ma-welcome dyan with the likes of Jover, yung mga ganyan. Paano pag nagpa-accredit siya? I-accredit ba siya? Considered ba siya? So yung mga ganon.
Yeah.
Maraming
point there. But
yeah,
I think
that's why I don't want to pay attention to the accreditation itself. Kasi maraming papalag. At marami din, aminin na natin, maraming SOCMEDs hindi magkakasundo. They are warring against each other. Napakasimpleng topic. Kanina lang binlock ako ng isang, ang tagal-tagal na nag-I love you sa akin, ha. Binlock ako dahil lang sinabi ko hindi ko gusto yung nangyayari sa Stranger Things. Maniwala ka. Sinabi niya sa akin, gawin mo na lahat, Tentay. Huwag mong babastusin ng Stranger Things. Sabay binlock ako. Just today. Ay, alam mo, yung mga ganyan. So, I don't know who wants to be accredited. I'm not sure. I don't have a list of those people. But I, for one, I do not want to. Because again, ayokong ilimit yung, yung pader ko. Also, I don't want to be forced into swearing the same oath with the people that I despise.
Swearing the same oath.
Halimbawa, mag-swear ka ng oath. I promise to say the oath, para hindi ako, di ba, kasi nga ang purpose ng accreditation is hindi ka matatawag na fake news, hindi ka troll, hindi ka lahat. May accreditation ka. So, sasabihin mo di ba, pagka na-accredit ka, it's almost like, not technically swearing, but saying, I am an accredited information disseminator, opinion disseminator as well. So I have this responsibility. And, the same line would be said by by our online enemies. Sabihin na natin enemies, totoo naman eh. We've been bashing each other. And so magkakaroon ng gulo dyan sa accreditation na yan. Kasi, Doc, I don't know kung nakapunta ka na. Nakapasok na kasi at naka-attend na rin ako dyan sa Malacanang press corps. Yung actual press corps, naka-attend na ako. I only went there once. But I experienced it. Everybody are actually getting the same thing. Magkakakilala sila. May konting chismisan, but not exactly bangayan like we have. And these are gangs. Alam mo yon? Alam mo talagang parang parang sa mafia families sila. They probably do not like each other personally, but they are, a group, a cohesive group. So, siguro kaya sila nagpapatayan sa labas. Pero hindi ko ibig sabihin dito na it is gonna be the same sa accreditation ng SOCMED. Ngayon, well, lahat ba din pasado? Lahat ng mga sinasabing SOCMEDs or ma-accredit. Pag hindi na-accredit ang isa, may magwawalang isa.
I think there are, they should outline the qualifications for accreditation. Sorry. Number one, for example, leadership, no? And I think that, or output, no? I think that there should be a panel, no? It's not going to, I suppose, no? And I'm sure that it's not going to be a one-man, one-woman accreditation committee. It's going to be a panel, I think, no? To be fair. Yeah. And, well, as you said, no, the mainstream media has long lorded it over the Malacanang press corps. So I think that it's about time that it is democratized a little bit more, no? To give
Yeah,
way
pero marami pa din.
access.
Parang ano yan, Doc.
Access. Uh-huh.
Yeah, parang federalism yan. A lot of people like it, pero napakadaming intricacies na kailangan munang mapagdaanan pa before it actually happens. So it's not something that is simple, and it will undergo a lot of deliberation pa. Pero I'll really count myself out of it. Personally, ngayon pa lang sinasabi ko na I don't want it kasi nga, there might come a time that there would be, masarap yung free yung free ka, yung, di ba, parang ka lang, ano tawag dyan, magbabalot. Kahit saan mo gustong lumikong kalsada, pwede. Di ba? Kahit saan mo gustong pumwesto, pwede ka magbenta. Unlike, pagka nag-ano ka, paano ba tawag doon?
Yeah, but accreditation does not mean prior restraint. Okay, accreditation, I think the idea of accreditation is just equal access to news, equal access to the first-hand information. What you do with that first-hand information is up to you. So we still have, I think,
aminin na natin,
but the freedom of speech is still here. So there's no, your accreditation will not abridge your right to free speech. It's only, on the other hand, I think it opens it up because you are given more access to information. So
access to information, but aminin na natin din, kaya din tayo naging ganito ka familiar sa mga tao. It's because we actually have access. Ako sasabihin ko talaga, may access talaga ako. No? For the past 6 years, I can say, I have access. I don't need them. I don't need accreditation. Marami tayong kilala or marami tayong kausap, marami tayong mga kasama, kaibigan who actually give us the actual news that are not even coming out.
Kasi that's for you. What about the others?
That's not where I'm going. That's not where I'm going, Doc. I'm sorry. Kaya sa atin pikon, yun ang ibig, actually doon ako papunta. Kaya napipikon sa atin yung mainstream media. Because the very thing that they are probably planning to sell as expose news, lumalabas sa atin eh. Gets ba? Lumalabas sa atin, madalas yun, ilang beses yun. Well, number one kasi, di ba? They have really blocked or they have paano ba sasabihin doon? They choke all the positive news about Tatay Digong and this cabinet and this and everything that even sa military, tinatabla nila military sa balita. And then we have the news. It's being given to us and we disseminate that. So nagkaroon talo ng gap kung sino yung nasaan nakakakuha yung mga tao. And since we have it already, we've been having it for the past 6 years. The bigger the anger tsaka yung hatred na lumalaki dito sa mga mainstream against the likes of us.
Exactly why access has to be opened wider. Because as you have said, they have monopolized the narrative for so long. So you have to have other people who will not follow the lines of the mainstream media, and that is, by granting access of other people who are not of the same tribe as the MSM practitioners. So I think that will somehow balance the equation.
Okay. Well, ang ano na dyan is I really wanna see how this will get into action. Medyo maano yan. Marami munang twos and fro's dyan, sigurado ako. And also this is something that we have a lot of people always have wanted since the first few months of Tatay Digong. Napunta pa to sa Senate. Na nagsimula natawa ako talaga sa transition na yun, di ba? From, kanino ba yun? Kila Jover yun, di ba? Tsaka ako kay Dayaw. Nagsimula doon yung investigation. From that investigation, nauwi sa Simoka ang fake news. Ang labo, hindi ko maintindihan paano naging transition na gano'n. And from then on, I just completely lost interest in it because, you know, supposedly pa naman yung may hawak ng PCOO noong time na yon, yung mga nado sa loob yung involved doon sa case na yon,
But
supposedly mga magkakilala, magkakaibigan, and it just snowballed into
but that's
something completely different and ridiculous.
That's different. Mocha did not need any accreditation because she was already inside. She was a part of the PCOO, so she didn't need any accreditation, no? So that's different. And, you know, one experience with Miss Mocha Uson does not make, you know, the same experience with the others. So we have a
Well,
lot
hindi,
of-
again, hindi yun ang pinupunto ko. Ang sinasabi ko lang is how it went on, how things went on for for the SOCMEDs, no? Nung time na we had a title, DDS SOCMEDs or Product SOCMEDs or whatever you call it. Pero tawag sa atin DDS technically, as a group. So, yung pinagdaanan coming from dun sa failed attempt na ma-accredit or failed attempt na magkatayo ang SOCMED sub-office sa loob ng PCOO o kung ano man ang tawag dyan sa mga ganyan-ganyan, plus napunta pa nga doon sa hearing na yun, with everything that happened, yun talaga, again, personally, ako, don't wanna be in it anymore. Okay na ako dito, Doc. Kasama kita sa Pugad. Masaya na ako doon.
Yeah. But yun nga, well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So let's try it out and see how it pans out. No, if it's successful, well and good. If probably there will be problems that will be encountered, then I hope that the kinks will be ironed out. But I still think that, again, in a democracy, there should be equal access to information. And I think that this is a good thing.
It has to start somewhere, Doc.
Yeah.
It has to start somewhere. Kasi definitely, SOCMED is not gonna die. It's just beginning. You know?
It is the present and the future, as we have already observed. The readership of the broadsheet and the mainstream magazines have largely dwindled, and now people are turning to social media and the internet for information. So social SOCMED, the social media, is the present and future of information, no? So,
Doc, alam mo, I used to be with the media as well, no? Although nasa maritime side ako. And what my job was then, ako actually yung isa sa mga unang-unang roadkills nitong pinag-uusapan natin eh. Our job back then was to write news every day, daily news, including everything, regional, whatever. So, technically, editor ako. Basically, kami yung dyaryo that is being subscribed sa loob ng barko, no? Magsusubscribe sila sa amin, papadala namin via email, they will just print it out, and it's like reading the newspaper inside the vessel. And then internet happened, and they have no need for us anymore. So the company had to be sold, shortly after I resigned. And so every vessel ngayon, they just have this bandwidth, and then all the seafarers can just see whatever news they want. Hindi na kailangan ng subscription. Meron na, it's everywhere, anything and everything that they want to see. All the news that they want to get it from wherever they want to get it from. So ako mismo, alam ko, naintindihan ko yun. Naintindihan ko talaga yun na talagang obsolete na sila. No? And obsolete kanina. Malapit na, Doc. Malapit na. Kita mo nga ngayon, may cable pa ba? Nobody even orders cable anymore. Nobody, diba? Dati ang galit nagalit yung mga tao. They don't have local networks. But, you know, it's no longer the thing, di ba? Wala na ako nakikita bumibili ng antena, makakuha lang, makasagap lang ng local network news, local network channels, no? So, it's really something that is becoming more and more obsolete by the day. And with the rise of things like Netflix and, you know, one-click news on YouTube, may live yan every day and all that. So, and the likes of Radio Garden. Ngayon nga, Spotify, meron ng may tawag dyan, podcast na. So, hindi ka maliligaw whatever the news was on the day, you can actually view it on video on Spotify. Dati, puro lang, audio lang yan. So, papunta na sila, papadinosaur na sila, and ito pasimula pa lang. And tama ka, I mean, katulad na sinabi ko sa'yo, it has got to start somewhere. And right now, maswerte tayo, dito tayo sa pioneering stage na mapapanood natin, makikita natin on how it can actually be put to reality, no? Itong accreditation na to.
Yeah. So let's see how it pans out, no? This is the first time that it's going to be done. So we cannot expect everything to be perfect at once.
No,
but
not at all.
as I have said, if you have a good idea, you pursue it. You pursue it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be very patient with it. You have to refine it. You have to fine tune it so that you will just, you know, you get your Goldilocks point, just right. So I hope that it will be successful because, you know, again, as I have said, access is a good thing. You democratize information. Okay? So, yun lang, no? So that no one controls the narrative again. We have observed that for the past 30 or so years, no? That one entity is controlling all the narrative so that our children grow up with only one side of the history and not looking at the other. That is also true, okay? There's no monopoly on truth there. The truth is somewhere in between, no? So
You know what, Doc?
if you fail to present both sides, then you don't have the truth.
More than anything right now, alam mo kung ano yung mas may passion ako. Bukod, I mean, accreditation as I've said already. Kasi, number one, gusto ko din kasi, hindi ko din maintindihan kung paano yung mga OFWs na, I mean, Filipinos abroad rather, na malaki ang following. Ma-accredit ba sila? Yung mga ganyan. So, marami pang tanong talaga eh. And, alam mo naman
they don't have to be personally present. We have electronic meetings. E-meeting, so they can access what's happening and can ask their questions while they are thousands of miles away. So, yun ang solution doon. Like us,
so madami pang ganon. Oo. So, yun na nga, again, marami pa talaga mga factors na kailangan i-consider, marami pang kailangan plansyahin and all. Pero if there's one na mas gusto kong pag-initan talaga, yung talagang tutukan. Kasi pag sinimulan natin dito, yung accreditation, brilliant. You know, it will function well. Itong lintik na fact checkers. Yung lintik na ano na yan, yan ang pinaka mas malaking problema not just sa atin, pati sa readers natin, followers natin, and so on and so forth. It's just a plague. You know, I think that is what we should be really focusing on, no? Ngayon, kasi just kanina, happy birthday nga pala kay Elizabeth Maniwang. She was given 90 days of suspension.
Oh, what for? Why?
No idea. Any post at all that she does is violation against community standards.
What was the last post that she did?
Just her photo, perhaps. Kasi ito, hindi naman to yung tipong, hindi siya yung tipong combative sa wall niya.
Did she share anything on her?
She shares a lot. She shares a lot. And hardly would she even do so. Pero mostly political, and kukuha siya sa mga favorite niya vloggers, share niya sa wall niya. And she was given 90 days, no? Oh, by the way, happy birthday again, mahal ko. And it's so
Happy
unfair.
birthday.
I am very aware of her online presence, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing offensive or not even, para sabihin mo na mako-community standards, zero. And yet she got 90. It's just absurd, no? Parang ako nung nag-happy birthday ako kay Mark, sunod-sunod yun, Doc, na naka 9 months ako. I'm sorry, naka 90 days ako, naka 3 months ako sunod-sunod nun. Because of a happy birthday, Mark Lopez. Can you believe that?
It's what the other side, well, it's a favorite of the other side, what they term as chilling effect. Okay? So I think that they are using it, they are using fact-checking as a means to have a chilling effect on the people on social media. Okay? You get a suspension, you are afraid now to post anything that might be deemed as violation of community standards. You don't know what it is. It is a nebulous thing. What are community standards?
So
they
vague,
explain exactly how you violated community standards. But, it makes up for prior restraint. Again, if you have an idea and you think that statistically, historically, this thing has, triggered the fact checkers and label it as violation of community standards, you will not post it anymore. And that's suppression of freedom of speech.
Again, Doc, kapag hindi inayos to, walang kwenta yung accreditation. Because there is no point of your accreditation if you cannot post anything on your wall because you are suspended. Yun yung sinasabi ko. Not only that, ito nga yung nakakatawa eh. Sabi mo nebulous. It's so freaking vague, and it's just, you do not even know who these people are that are fact-checking on you. Because most of them, ang kanilang IP address nasa Pakistan, nasa kung saan. And yung same item, news article, na galing sa pader ng mainstream media, i-share mo sa wall mo, and they will say that it is violation. Or, ano tawag dito, may property right. Paminsan, ang masakit doon, pag in-screen capture mo yon, screenshot, and then you crop it a little bit, sasabihin nila, this is an altered photo. So, violation din yon. Several times nangyari sa akin yan. And so, sa kalalagay, if these, if these people are there, if people or whatever, if the system of community standards there, walang kwenta yung accreditation if you are permanently disabled, if you are always suspended, if you're always, harangued by these people, by this system, wala yun. I think yun ang mas kailangan natin. Kasi useless accreditation para saan?
Yeah, but that doesn't happen to everyone. And, that thing happening should not keep us from doing other initiatives, no? We should not give up, no? As I have said, you pursue it, and you pursue it, and you pursue it. They cannot possibly ban everyone who's saying the same thing, right? So
yeah, definitely not.
It's not, you may cancel or ban or suspend 2 or 3 people, but banning everyone doesn't happen. Has not happened. It may happen, but it has not happened. So whatever little thing that we can do to open the information highway, so to speak, would be a good thing. But that shouldn't stymie us from doing those things, because we know that the fact checkers are there.
Maganda sigurong add-on yun doon sa accreditation, or at least it would be a good perk if makakapareho ng mga ma-accredit ang privilege ni Jover, halimbawa, because she never got suspended. Diba? Yung mga tipong ganon. So, it would probably be a perk.
Well, probably, yeah. But as I have said, no, they should put their qualifications. They should,
Mm-mm.
make it clear who gets accredited, who does not get accredited. So, yeah, but yun nga. it's
Dati
good to
pa
try.
no? Tricky.
Good to try.
Tricky masyado to kasi ang pinag-uusapan na natin dito sa lahat na to, katulad nga yung, again, punta na tayo doon, yung kaninang unang topic na, I thought that's what you were referring to. No?
And by the way, it's not, social media is not just Facebook. You still have Twitter.
Exactly.
You still have YouTube. So there are other
Lahat yan may fact checkers kasi, Doc.
And not just Facebook. So
lahat yan may control may fact checkers lahat. Meron talagang
not as much as others. Some are, more lenient or more democratic than others. So, wherever we can.
They have one similarity, all of them. Meron silang report button.
Mhm.
They all have it. Every single one of them. So it depends on which platform you're on or how much, what kind of engagement you have on that platform. That depends on what happens to you. Kung ano sentensya abutin mo, no? Or if zero at all, di ba?
So let me give you an example. Okay, Thinking Pinoy has never been suspended. All right?
I'm sorry, Doc.
Thinking Pinoy, RJ Neto has not been
Ay, hindi. Page
suspended.
siya Page yun, hindi kasi personal account.
So that's what we can do. Okay? So that's what we can do. If you think that you're vulnerable to fact checkers, then do what others do to evade being fact checked, to evade being suspended. So there are, I think,
Cinemotion, TPL, and so many others, pages din sila, they were unpublished.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Several
if you are
accounts.
unpublished, then just like the phoenix, if you get burned down, you rise again. You cannot stop trying.
That's what we have been doing for a while. Now, ilan na accounts mo sa Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nakakaapat na.
Ikaw, no? That has not stopped you from speaking out. Okay? Because once you get intimidated, once you have that fear, then you will be paralyzed by that. No? And that's exactly what they want. So we should not
Nakakatawa
mind the threats.
Probably the most ridiculous suspensions ang ibinigay nila sa akin. Like, it was on my birthday, and it was on Christmas Day. Ano pa ba? Yung, ano tawag ito? On election day itself. Yung mga ganyan. Yun talaga yung mga binibigay nila sa akin, suspensions. It's beautiful. And so far, 112 na ako. Kasi yung pinaka-last ko na suspension is 24 hours lang. So, 112 na. And still counting, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay,
Pero
that hasn't stopped you. You're still there. Right? So,
wala naman ako sinasabing And for some reason, ang aking pader, which is a personal account, apparently now gives out badges. Fan badges and all. So, may mga bago-bago. Nagulat ako. May mga nagbibigay ng top. May nakikita ko top fan and I was like, really?
How does it happen? How do you do that?
No idea, Doc. I don't even know how to navigate my own one.
Ay, nako. So, yun. Oh, what other things? So, you were saying about that list, no? About the list of Chari Villa. I don't know if Attorney Darwin Cañete has initiated legal proceedings against the publisher that's online publishing of that.
Nagsabi na si Papi Darwin na antayin muna niyang matapos yata yung term ni Tatay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So,
in respect yata kay Tatay Digong. Not yet.
All right. But that is clearly, you see that some names who have been accused of peddling fake news are not
fake news.
Okay, the big names, like those who are obviously not for BBM have been stricken off the list. Okay, so it's practically an anti-BBM list. Okay, the list is an anti-BBM list. It's not anti-fake news peddling, but
Let me review it
anti-BBM
again.
list.
Kasi originally that photo was done like what? 2017? Tama ba?
Yeah,
Was it 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah. Diba? It's just discombobulating right now, no? Isipin mo na because during that time, it was yata yung everybody were meeting to do this palit bise. Yun nga ba yun? Kasi nga,
No,
we were
no.
fighting.
That picture, I think, was an invitation of BBM for a dinner. I think that there was somebody, it was somebody's birthday, I think, if I'm not
Hindi,
mistaken.
basta ang alam ko lang, Doc, kasi simula naman talaga ng 2016 ng June, ay ng May, hanggang sa yung time ng photo na yan, and so, long after that, gigil na gigil yung mga tao, and you know, you're not supposed to be the vice president, dapat si Bongbong yun ang sigaw ng lahat, diba? And so, it's inevitable that we will be seen, or at least some of us will be seen in attending events of the Marcoses, because yun na nga sinusuportahan at gusto talaga nating manalo sa PET para makuha niya yung kanyang vice presidency, you know? So those photos, pero technically yun ang ginamit nilang picture, kasi nga natawa talaga ako dun sa part ni Job, kasi 2 counts. Natawa ako dun sa 2 counts eh.
But you see,
like pa naman yung accounts na yun.
Like Mocha Usman was there. Okay? So if you say that
Pero hindi
is the basis for because Mocha Usman did not endorse BBM, so she was stricken off the list. That is an anti-BBM list. Okay? So everyone who did not, like, who's one of the biggest ever blogger, Chrisette Loretta Chu. She's not there because she was not.
Ano ba siya sa photo?
No, she's not in the photo. But if you say peddler of fake news, and Chrisette has long been the target of suspension and whatever, fact-checking, then you would expect that she's gonna be there. But the fact is, that is not the purpose of that list. The purpose of that list is to target BBM supporters and not, social media bloggers, practitioners who are on the other side of the fence. Okay? It is selective. It is selective. So,
ano sa other side of the fence, Doc?
From the Charivilla side of the fence.
Hindi kasi katulad ko, 'di ba? Identified ako masyado sa inyo, and yet
no, you're not there. You're not there because
but a lot of names are also there that are not in the photo.
Yeah, but the photo is just one thing. The other
category 1 nga, or ano ba, state?
Yeah, the others are, because category 1 is individual. Most of those that you see in category 1 are individuals. In the other quadrants, you see pseudonyms, okay, or groups, or groups, or they have this mga title. But in quadrant, you have individuals who do blogs. Yon. So,
and online channels, kung saan. Kasi marami ako nakita doon na may mga online channels.
So, not everyone who is on the other side of their fence is there. It is mainly because
nangangati ilong ko, sorry.
They don't, these people endorse or are supported of BBM. Yan lang yun.
Well, katulad nga ng inaasahan na natin to, Doc, di ba? When was that? Nung nagkausap-usap tayo na, remember Kids Bar has said it first na, come 2022, it will become a different ball game for all of us.
Yeah.
And It depends whether it would be Sarah who would be with the president or Bongbong would be the president. Well, we do not know what will happen to us. Tapos, sinabi din niya that it would be extremely difficult for a social media blogger or vlogger or whatever, yung grupo, kung anong classification natin talaga, na mag-survive if it's going to be a Marcos presidency, because definitely, ito na talaga yung talagang head to head na to. 'Di ba? Talagang head-on collision, it would be a war. They are going to do everything. And they just started now. Yun nga lang, ni malas nila, napikon si Darwin. Sa akin lang
It's blatantly libelous, no? I think we can still talk about it because a case has not been filed, so
Yeah.
it is not sub judice. So it is blatantly libelous.
It is.
So,
Actually, ang dami na nga natin dapat na, dami nyo na palang bala. Kayo, lahat ng mentioned, no? Marami kayong bala doon. And they actually have several offenses din sa ibang SOCMEDs na, kasi may mga ganyan din na mga lists. Sandamakmak yan eh. Nandun din si Crisette, nandun din ako, nandun din yung mga ganyan. Tandaan mo, Doc, na headline pa ako sa wall ni Lenlen. And all those things, marami tayong pwedeng ibato sa kanila na, hey, look at you, kayo yung fake news kasi you're painting us in such a different, in a very different picture. When in fact, these are us, hindi nga kami trolls, you're calling us trolls, pero eto kami, tao kami.
yeah.
Wala kaming makinarya and all that. And you are gusto niyo pa kaming ipa-report, 'di ba, sa kung saan sa authorities. Yung mga ganyan, harassment 'yan. Pero pumiyak ba tayo noon? Hindi. Kaso natikot sa kanila si Papi Darwin, naaawa ako sa kanila.
And also, there is a confusion regarding labeling something as fake news. What the bloggers do is to write down opinions, and news and opinions have an entirely big difference. There's a big difference between opinion and news, okay? So when you say that the bloggers are purveyors of fake news, excuse me, that's not entirely correct, because what the bloggers write are opinions and not news, okay? Who is slanting the news? Who is manipulating the news? It's the other side. Okay, so you don't accuse people. There's no fake opinion, actually. There's no fake opinion unless you are faking your thoughts, you're faking your sentiments, but there is no fake opinion because opinions are valid. They come straight from, the heart of the one who's writing, no? So
Kung hindi tayo, Doc, tanong ko lang, kung hindi news writing ang ginagawa ng mga katulad natin, it's just opinion.
yeah.
Then,
We share the news. We do not write the news. We do not write the news because we have no direct access to the news. That's another thing. We did not get the news from the source. So what we write is our interpretation of the news and our opinion of the news. But we did not write it as it
alam mo,
happened.
Doc, 3 beses lang ako nagsulat ng actual news, the way I do it, no? Nung sa dati, no? And I did. One of the, I think, best things na ilabas ko, because it was a big expose, supposedly. I mean, at least for me it was. I thought that a lot will pick up on it. Kaya lang, suspended ako nung time na yun dito sa account ko. Nagpunta ako doon sa alternate account ko and I put it there, tukol doon sa SEA Games. The expose doon sa, corruption na nangyari sa SEA Games. And that account was unpublished a week after I posted that. So I attempted to, get back into it, and then I tried again, and then the other, nagsimula na naman ako sa ibang account ko, and that was unpublished as well.
But those who shared, did anyone share what you posted?
Not sure. I'm not even sure if kasi kung unpublished yung source, edi wala din.
Yeah, but some people copy and paste. Some people take screenshots. So a news item does not just disappear without a trace, no? So if you have followers, then it could have been shared. It could have, been copied and pasted, or a screenshot was taken.
Yeah, but like me, I don't keep screenshots on my on my phone. Eh. I don't know. Siguro what I'm trying to say here is not because I want to, regain that piece of news that I did, that I created. Ang sinasabi ko lang is I attempted to, dahil marami naman sa kanila, kilala naman nila ako, yung mga nakasama ko sa trabaho, yung iba dyan yung mga nadyo sa media niyan, they know who I am, and yet, they call me fake news kasi nga, I do not belong to their groups anymore, I no longer have the access to what they used to have, I don't, and all that, and so, fake news ako, and yet, itong isa, na nagpupumilit na news na news company ang kumpanya nila naging vlogger na lang ngayon dapat, 'di ba? Pero iniyayabang pa rin yan. Ano tawag ito? Ano nga ba yung naka-Nobel pa siya? Hindi ka na nga news entity, hindi na news entity, tapos pinagpipilitan nyo pa rin na kailangan may access siya sa mga bagay-bagay. Samantalang yung katulad ko, na nag-resign
I
lang
don't
naman.
think, to be fair, I don't think they have accreditation.
No, but they still get access and privilege. Hindi ko sinasabi accreditation, Doc. I'm talking about the goddamn privilege that they have. International pa, hindi lang just national.
Well, that's another story. That's another story. We know who's funding them, so
I used to have access to international news, only of course doon sa field where I was. Pero when I left it, I respected that I'm no longer in that, so I don't want to push myself into it anymore. I don't want to impose that I should be invited because I used to be always. I no longer need that. So, pero sila, pinagpipilitan nila, napatunayan na nga na, hindi ko yung news entity.
Yeah.
Diba? So, bakit pinagpipilitan nyo pa din na hinaharas kayo as media? Hindi na kayo media. Hindi na kayo mainstream, hindi na kayo journalist.
They are a real estate company. Yeah.
Di ba, according to SEC, it's all over the news, and there's a record of that, and ay nako Lord.
Yeah, but apparently they have the support of the other mainstream media players. So yun nga, they like wolves, they travel in a pack. Okay, so again, we will go back to that accreditation. So that group will be, you will not be a lone wolf. Okay, so there's a group to counteract what the mainstream media is doing. So yun lang, no? I think that it's a good.
Meron ako nakikitang mas magandang way para di na ako mamumblema sa accreditation. Pa-accredit ka, hihingi ako sa inyo information.
By the way, I don't think I'm interested.
Really?
Well, I have a day job.
Ngayon nga, di kasi ko na problema ko, Doc. May
who wants to hang around in press cons, diba? So, other people might be interested. Okay?
Hindi, Doc, may press kit.
Yeah.
Yun na lang siguro. Sigurado. Sige na, para sa akin, para may pag-uusapan tayo sa Pugad na.
So, yeah. it's not, I'm not pushing, okay, I'm not pushing the accreditation because I'm interested, but I think it's really a good idea, worth looking into, because as I've said, access to information should be for everyone. That's the reason why we have Freedom of Information Act. No, it's the same thing, access to information. We should, information should be free to everyone. Yeah, not only.
Mag-vlogger na rin daw si Lenlen eh. Paano ko magpa-accredit?
It's okay. So accredit her and see how see how she's going to perform, how she would stream words, no? Maybe
Pero puro unboxing lang yung gagawin niya.
Vocabulary.
What? Hindi, puro unboxing lang gagawin niya. Vocabulary ka dyan, tamahan ka ng kidlat.
So, hindi masamang mangarap. Libreng mangarap.
Oo. Saan ang proper na, ito po ang tamang paggamit ng iyong, ganyan. Tipo, ganyan, di ba? Mag-vlogging siya. Iyong vlogger, yan. Pangalan niya. Iyong
by the way,
vlogger.
was she the first one to arrive in
Balisin.
not Balisin, Bulusan?
Bulusan. Dok, ang unang dumating dun Ashfall. Hindi, no offense doon sa mga kababayan namin sa Bulusan. I hope you're all okay. So far, sa mga kaibigan ko na nandun, they're safe, so I'm happy. Pero po doon sa mga iba, mag-ingat po kayo. Sana po makarecover. That was a very, very bad situation that you were in, at hindi po siya bumaba sa baba ng Bulusan. So, Doc, final words. Daw magpapaalam na ako, mauna na ako. In behalf of all our kapugads, alam niyo na kung sino yung mga yun kasi kulang na kami ng oras. Tsaka, yung asawa ko, I love you ko lang. I love you, Han. Tapos yung mga may birthday nakakulto ko, pasensya na kayo, hindi ko kayo mabate, pero I love you all and happy birthday. And, I missed you, Doc. I missed you so much. Ayun.
It's nice to be missed. Okay. Wala. Hinahanap ko sino may mga birthday dito eh. Wala. Okay. Before we leave, vaccination is still ongoing, and congratulations, Maricar, that you had your second booster.
First
booster. Okay. So second boosters are now available again for frontliners, for the immunocompromised, for the senior citizens. So if you are one of those, any of those, okay, go have your second booster done. Okay? So with that, cases are down, hospitalizations are down, death rates are down. We should congratulate ourselves. We did a very good job, okay, compared to other countries. So congratulations to the government, right?
Congratulations.
So, if you're not strong though, okay, continue protecting yourselves. Until we see you again, okay, so we'll be here again tomorrow, Wednesday, with Attorney Darwin Cañete and Attorney Tom Berenguer, and on Thursday,
with a guest.
Professor Juan Ibernas, and who knows who's on Friday. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Doc. Love you.
Pugad Vloggers, Pugad Vloggers.